founded this business in 2015. What was the state of the non-alcoholic industry all the way back then?
Practically non-existent. You know, when we started in 2015, you know, I wanted to drink less. One of my friends had gotten sober, and when we went out to restaurants and bars in New York, you're lucky if you could find a ginger beer, you know, and I just got really tired of club soda, and I've been a cocktail nerd for a long time, so I started curious to make the world's best non-alcoholic drinks, something fun when you don't want to get wasted.
And what was the catalyst here? Because you think about how the industry has grown from virtually non-existent, like you say, back 9 years ago to now, it feels like it's the hot new thing, especially with Gen Z. I mean, is it just demographics? Was it the pandemic? What was the catalyst here?
I think everybody's waking up to ask themselves the question, what do I want my relationship to alcohol to be? And so people are asking that questions, and now companies like ours are making solutions for them to still unwind with their friends, to help business owners make more money if you're a restaurant or a bar or a hotel or a business conference. You know, that's really what's going on. The pandemic definitely accelerated things for us because some people drank a lot more during the pandemic and some people drank a lot less. But we just saw our sales skyrocket from 2020, and every year has been bigger.
Yeah, I mean, you think about the effects of the pandemic across industries. It's just really interesting and in some cases unintuitive. But let's talk a little bit more about your product, because it's not just alcohol free. You do put adaptogens in there as well. Just briefly, tell us what adaptogens actually do. Do you get some sort of buzz or effect?
No, we're not trying to make drinks that give you a buzz. We're trying to make drinks that help you de-stress. You know, so for example, in Curious Number One, we use rhodiola, which helps balance your cortisol, the kind of pain molecule levels, and it helps increase your serotonin and dopamine precursors. So that just basically means that you've got more of the raw materials for feeling a little bit of joy. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. So you feel something. I guess the only way to really know the effect is to try it. But I do want to talk a little bit more about demographics, because we read some of the research. It really seems skewed here to Gen Z. But what do you see in your own lineup, in your own customers, when it comes to actual demographic trends?
There's three massive cohorts. So one is going to be people kind of over 40. They just want to drink less. They still want to unwind with their friends. Then there's people in the millennial group, and there's people in the Gen Z group. You know, and these are people that are either sober or just cutting back. But they're really defining on that sobriety spectrum where they want to be. And so it's just everybody's trying to find it, and they're coming for 1,000 different reasons, whether they're pregnant, training for a marathon, they want to lose weight, have better sleep, better sex, any of that stuff. There's lots of different reasons why, but it's happening across every single generational cohort. That's what's amazing about it. You know, I think that Gen Z and millennials get a lot of the attention, but the truth is that it's happening across every single segment. It's wild.
Yeah, I remember I used to talk about it with my parents, and the narrative was, it's just fancy juice. It's just soda, but definitely the conversation now has changed in terms of the perception across generations of what non-alcoholic drinks actually are. And I mean, to that point, how big do you think that this market actually could get?
Oh, I think that this is the first act of the opera. You know, we're on the kind of ascendancy plane, and there'll be a pendulum swing back, but you know, some people think that it's going to be a 20, 30, $40 billion industry. It's about $11 billion right now, but it's going to continue to grow. It's growing by 10%, 20%, 30%, depending on which, you know, if you're talking about an individual company or the sector as a whole. It's growing every year since we've started in 2015.
Well, with that growth, of course, you have some of the big brand names coming in. You know, your traditional alcoholic beverage makers coming in with their own versions of their non-alcoholic product. How do you compete there? What's your plan look like?
I think it's wonderful that they're coming in. It's helping to validate the market, and it's helping to educate everyone that there are better options out there and that better options are possible. I would just caution every consumer, read your labels. Look at what's going into it. Just because it's non-alcoholic doesn't mean that it's good for you. So pay attention, listen to your body when you're drinking or taking anything, you know? It's really up to the individual to see how this can make an impact in their social life, in their physical life, and how they can enjoy life with less alcohol.
And who do you feel that you're competing with? I mean, is it other pure play non-alcoholic brands? Is it sort of the big alcoholic beverage makers coming into this space? Or is it something like marijuana? We read a stat on the show yesterday that more Americans, for the first time in a long time, are smoking marijuana daily as opposed to drinking daily.
I think that with what Curious does, I mean, we're out to make something special and unique, the world's best non-alcoholic drinks, and they're inspired by craft cocktails, but they're not trying to emulate something else. They're trying to be something new. So that's really what we're focused on, is making something that's different than everything else out there, and that just makes people feel a little bit happier, a little bit more included, and helps make business owners, especially restaurateurs that are struggling right now, make more money with the same guests that are already coming into their establishments.
Well, I'm glad you brought up restaurants, because that's what I'm also wondering is how you get your product in front of people, whether it's really direct to consumer sales, or are you trying to get this in bars and restaurants?
It's both. That's really like the two major prongs of our strategy, is build a really robust direct-to-consumer business and also build it on premise in establishments where people deeply care about taking care of their guests. For example, Blue Note Jazz Club is one of our accounts. They sell over $12,000 extra a month just of Curious to people that are already coming into their jazz club. So that's just, if you're not having like Curious on the menu, you're leaving money on the table.
Yeah.
You know?
So, I mean, what would you say is the more important prong right now? Like you said, it's a two-prong approach. You want to be direct to consumer. You also want to be in bars and restaurants. Which is more meaningful for you right now?
I think in terms of lasting cultural change, it's going to be more important for us to continue getting into restaurants, bars, hotels. We're in a few thousand right now, but that's a far cry from being in 100,000, 200,000 venues. So that's really what we're going to focus on the next 10 years. We're just about to celebrate 10 years of being in business. The next 10 years is about working with different groups of professionals, particularly on premise in restaurants, bars, hotels, resorts, so that they have something that can help educate all of their existing clientele and make them more money. And everybody that comes in for that experience, whether it's a restaurant or a Broadway show, they have a better time. They feel included, and they still get to celebrate and kick back with something that's delicious.
And I do want to talk a little bit about what's next for the business. I asked you before the segment started whether it was safe to call you a serial entrepreneur, because, of course, you founded a marketing agency in the past. You've built bars and restaurants, and, of course, you founded Curious Elixirs back in 2015. Would you be open to a sale? What are your plans for the future?
Right now, we're focused on growing sustainably and just continuing to invest every dollar that we have back into the business to help create this lasting generational change. Our mission is to transform how we drink socially through the best non-alcoholic drinks in the world. That's really our focus right now. We're not focused, since we're continuing to grow, we're not focused on selling our business. We're focused on making sure that these changes don't repeat the mistakes of prohibition. It's not that alcohol is a problem, it's that too much alcohol is a problem, and we need better solutions to make everybody feel included when people are already trying to drink less. So that's really what we're focused on. We just launched our most recent flavor, Curious No. 9, and we did that at a party in 100 cities, all on one night. It's called the Great Curious Cocktail Party. We did it last week, and that's the sort of thing where 100 different hosts get together and throw their own parties. That's what makes lasting cultural change when people are invested. Those are the sorts of things that you're going to continue to see from us.
And that's a rosé, right?
Yep, that's our Rosy Rosé with fizzy lifting lime.